The 2014 United States Senate election in New Hampshire was held on November 4, 2014, to elect a member of the United States Senate to represent the state of New Hampshire, concurrently with the election of the Governor of New Hampshire, as well as other elections to the United States Senate in other states and elections to the United States House of Representatives and various state and local elections. Incumbent Democratic Senator Jeanne Shaheen ran for re-election to a second term in office. Primary elections were held on September 9, 2014. Shaheen was unopposed for the Democratic nomination and the Republicans nominated former U.S. Senator Scott Brown, who represented Massachusetts from 2010 to 2013. Brown was seeking to become only the third person in history and the first in 135 years to represent more than one state in the United States Senate. Whitman T. Riley represented Virginia from 1861 to 1863 and West Virginia from 1863 to 1871, and James Shields represented Illinois from 1849 to 1855, Minnesota from 1858 to 1859 and Missouri in 1879. Shaheen defeated Brown by 51.5% to 48.2%, thus Brown became the first man to lose two Senate races to women, having previously lost to Elizabeth Warren in Massachusetts in 2012. Democratic primary, Shaheen was unopposed for the Democratic nomination. Candidates equals. Declared, Jeanne Shaheen, incumbent U.S. Senator. Endorsements equals. Results equals. Republican primary. The Republican primary for this election was much more highly contested than the respective Democratic one, with Scott Brown beating out Jim Rubins and Bob Smith for the Republican nomination. Candidates equals. Declared, Gerard B. Loyne, candidate for New Hampshire's 2nd Congressional District in 2012 and candidate for the U.S. Senate in 2010, Scott Brown, former U.S. Senator from Massachusetts, Robert Desi, Miroslav Mirodzic, candidate for New Hampshire's 2nd Congressional District in 2012, Mark W. Farnham, candidate for the U.S. Senate in 1992, Liam Annis, Bob Herman, Walter W. Kelly, Andy Martin, perennial candidate, Jim Rubins, chairman of the Granite State Coalition Against Expanded Gambling, former state senator and candidate for governor in 1998, Bob Smith, former U.S. senator, candidate for president in 2000, and candidate for the U.S. Senate from Florida in 2004 and 2010. Withdrew, Karen Testerman, conservative activist and candidate for governor in 2010. Declined, Rich Issue, candidate for New Hampshire's 1st Congressional District in 2010, Al Baldessaro, state representative, Charles Bass, former U.S. representative, Bill Binney, industrialist, investment banker and candidate for the U.S. Senate in 2010, Jeb Bradley, majority leader of the New Hampshire Senate and former U.S. representative, David M. Coate, chairman and CEO of Honeywell, Judd Gregg, former U.S. Senator and former Governor of New Hampshire, Frank Guinter, former U.S. Representative, Dan Innes, Dean of the Peter T. Paul College of Business and Economics at the University of New Hampshire, Ovid Lamontagne, businessman, candidate for the U.S. Senate in 2010 and nominee for governor in 1996 and 2012, Andy Sanborn, state senator, Mark Stein, conservative author and political commentator, Christopher Sununu, executive counselor, son of former Governor John H. Sununu and brother of former U.S. Senator John E. Sununu, former U.S. Senator, Fred Torsch, businessman, Fran Wendelboe, former state representative and candidate for New Hampshire's 1st Congressional District in 2002. Endorsements equals. Polling equals. Results equals. General election. Fundraising equals. Independent expenditures equals. Polling equals. Results equals. See also, United States Senate elections, 2014, United States elections, 2014. References. External links, U.S. Senate elections in New Hampshire, 2014 at Ballotpedia, Scott Brown vs. Jeanne Shaheen graph of multiple polls from HuffPost pollster, campaign contributions at opensecrets.org.